Welcome back to the Vintage New Jersey podcast. If you grew up in New Jersey, you already know this question causes a lot of drama. North Jersey says no, South Jersey says absolutely not, and Central Jersey people like myself quietly grind our teeth and say yes. We are settling nothing but talking about everything: the history, the geography, the highways, the food, the accents, and why this argument refuses to die. Does Central Jersey actually exist? Okay, first off, let's be clear. This isn't just a map question. This is an identity. This is culture. This is, what radio stations you listen to, what mall you went to, and whether you say pork roll or Taylor ham. New Jersey is only about 150 miles from north to south. So, Cape May to near Hoboken or further than that. You'd think we could agree on this, but no, because in New Jersey, everything is super tribal. So, North Jersey, obviously, for you New Jerseyites out there, you guys tend to lean towards the New York City orbit. South Jersey tends to lean towards the Philadelphia orbit. And Central Jersey, like myself, where I live, we're like our own thing. And depending upon who you ask, Central Jersey is either very real or a complete myth. So, historically speaking, New Jersey was never officially divided to, from north, central, south. This state, and I did a podcast on this, the state was originally split into East and West Jersey back in like the 1600s. That line had nothing to do with, diners, bagels, and all that stuff, but it kind of leads up to this later as the state developed into two massive gravitational forces. They took over. So you had the New York to the north, Philly to the south. Transportation, trade, newspapers, sports, accents all flowed outward from those cities that I just mentioned. So if you lived closer to New York, you became North Jersey. If you were uh, south and I guess west-ish Jersey, you were more Philly. And then there was the towns in between, not close enough to fully embrace both, but just to kind of belong, if that makes sense. That gray area is Central Jersey. And it's towns like where I'm from that kind of they whisper like, hey, we're here too. If you ask 10 people if Central Jersey exists, you'll get 12 different answers. But generally speaking, most people that fit in this Central Jersey mold is, or I should say, the counties is Middlesex County, Somerset, Mercer, Monmouth, Hunterdon. Sometimes Union County sneaks in, and sometimes Ocean County, where I live, kind of gets dragged into this fight unwillingly. But Central Jersey people will tell you this: it's where suburbia meets farmland. It could be a quiet road with cornfields on one side and Route 1 traffic 10 minutes later. You got Princeton on one end, New Brunswick on the other. So, two big kind of powerhouse cities. You have Rutgers, Princeton University. You have pharmaceutical headquarters, colonial towns, strip malls, diners, Wawas. And they all, we all coexist peacefully. It doesn't feel like North Jersey. It does not feel like South Jersey. And that's kind of the point. We're doing our own thing. And one of the strongest arguments for Central Jersey is the accent, or more accurately, the lack of a strong one. North Jersey accents is, like New York, talk, coffee, all that stuff. South Jersey accents tilt more towards Philly, Tal, uh, water, all that stuff. Central Jersey is a little neutral. Like I say water, and my brother says water. and we're obviously brothers and grew up in the same area. It's a weird blend of the two. This is people argue about the vowels and all that stuff, but no one really wins. Like I said, you'll hear people say water five different ways in the same conversation. And then if you ask someone, what city you're closest to, it honestly just their answer just depends on where the traffic is. Um, so then we get into food, and this might be the kind of the clearest dividing line within the entire state. North Jersey, you got, bagels, Italian delis, and Taylor ham and more, just to name a few. South Jersey is hoagies, soft pretzels, Wawa, pork roll. Central Jersey, chaos. Some diners say Taylor ham, others diners say pork roll. Some menus just avoid the issue completely. You'll find bagel shops and Wawas and New York style pizza and cheesesteaks in the same complex, feet from each other. That's not, that's not weak. That confusion's not weakness. It's just it's the culture. That's what makes a culture, which is awesome. There's also a long-standing theory that highways divide and define New Jersey more than anything else. North Jersey lives above I-78 and I-80. South Jersey lives below I-195. And Central Jersey is Route 1, Route 18, Route 9, the Turnpike, the Parkway, all intersecting into one big stress test. If your daily commute involves at least two jug handles, a prayer, and traffic, you get a congratulations because you're probably more than likely in Central Jersey. So why does the idea of Central Jersey make so many people mad? And probably not really that mad, but it's just a funny topic to talk about. Um, and I just think it's because it messes up like the lines, the clean lines of the state. North Jersey and South Jersey are just simple. Like, where are you from? North Jersey. Oh, I'm from South Jersey, whatever. Two teams, two cultures, two accents, two food identities. Central Jersey, a little bit more complicated than that. And New Jersey does not like complicated. We like certainty. We like arguing, but only within clearly defined boundaries. Central Jersey challenges that myth that I just mentioned. New Jersey isn't just two halves yelling at each other. It's a spectrum, if you will. And the main thing here, which is also kind of the final twist of it all, is that in 2018, the state of New Jersey officially recognized Central Jersey in legislation. So it became a thing. So prior to that, it was just a funny little argument topic. But in 2018, it kind of cemented it. So now it's on paper and it actually does exist. Will the arguments stop? Absolutely not, because Central Jersey isn't just a place, it's where being asked where you're from and answering with five different explanations. It's being two north for South Jersey and two south for North Jersey, if that makes sense. And maybe that's the most Jersey thing of it all. So this begs the question, does Central Jersey actually exist? If you ask a map, maybe. If you ask a politician, yes. If you ask people on Twitter and Instagram, no. But if you ask the true, when I say true, I say that not seriously, but if you ask the true people, or the people who actually grew up here, we've never doubted it for a second. I mean, it's clear as day to us. So, yeah, that's the end of my rant for today. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one.
Message New Jersey podcast.